Hello everyone, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of Dungeon Kart from Brotherwise Games. This game is inspired by old school kart racing video games, which I have been playing for well over 30 years now at this point. So we're going to go ahead and do the unboxing of the gold edition of the game, as well as take a look at a few other little things that it came with. First up right here, we do have a pack of crossover cards with Boss Monster proper right here that we'll take a look at later on in the video, as well as we do have the tile track stays right here. I did buy these extra to go with the game, so we will take a look at those as well. But we're going to go ahead and take a look now at the top of the box for this game. So we got Dungeon Kart right there, Brotherwise Games Gold Edition. So this is like I said, the gold edition of the game. There were 3 different levels when the game was on Kickstarter: bronze, silver, and gold. All of them had the same base game, but if you pledged a little bit more and whatnot, you did get more components for the game, finally ending in gold. Also, some of the stretch goals were dependent on which level you got. The majority of the stretch goals, I believe, were for bronze level, but there was a couple extra ones for silver and a few extra for gold. So that is what that is. But again, like I said, here is the cover of the game right here. We got designed by Michael Zerub. I apologize greatly if I mispronounced your name. And then down there, the Brotherwise Games logo. We've got a big hefty box right here. Those are the sides right there with our various characters. And then we're going to have the bottom of the box. Flavor text at the top here says, "Kart racing hits the tabletop. Outrun your evil rivals in this fast-paced board game with 2 to 8 players. Shift into high gear, clear the way with bombs and fireballs, and then race to the finish." Right here, kart racing on a truly modular course. Millions of track combinations are possible. Use unique spells and powers to clear pesky heroes out of your way and take out the other bosses. And down here, every round, you adjust your speed to your custom dashboard. Movement points power your kart through the courses, non-stop action, adventure, all of that sort of thing. We're going to go ahead and dive into this right now, and I'm going to go ahead with my trusty kniff and get this thing open, and whoop, go ahead and take off the plastic. Now, like I said, ooh, the symbol right here does look like it is a sticker almost that got plastered on there. It does stand out a little bit from my angle. I do get a little bit of glare from my lights, so there is that, and whoop, there we go for that. I'm getting this out of the way here. But this is a glare-free version of the box right there. I don't know why my mouse was out. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is inside. We're going to go ahead and move that right there for now. We do have our rule book right here from Brotherwise Games. It does have a listing. Let's see. The rule book doesn't necessarily say this is the gold edition, first edition, first printing, all of that stuff. We have gameplay overview right here. We have a listing of our game components, which I will remember to put off to the side so I can actually read them. We have game setup on pages 3 and 4. Over here, dashboard and racers, kart special abilities. All of that. Got gameplay over here, set speeds, set MP on actions, more actions, all of that stuff. Drift, bump, brake, all those things. Racetrack types of terrain. They do list quite a few things right here. Terrain costs, terrain penalties, all of that sorts things. We've got coins, hazards. Let's see, walls and obstacles, spells, all this other stuff, ending the round, special actions, gain spells, ending the game, all of that stuff. Cardboard icon guide right here, so we'll put that off to the side with me. We do have the assembly instructions right here. There's another full, like, on book right here. We've got assembly instructions for the standees. We've got assembly instructions for the dashboards and the dashboard stands, because I believe that was an unlocked stretch goal, was actual stands for the dashboards. We do have the racing guide, preset tracks, measuring kart position, dealing with tiles and placement, tile FAQ, hazards, all of that stuff. So here are some preset track catalog listings right here that you can make. I got a few more of these. Now with glancing right off the top of my head. Let's see. What I'm looking for, and it's trying to remember what all was unlocked during the course of the Kickstarter, but I wanted to see if any of these different tracks specifically mention Kickstarter only things, because I don't see, like, I think gold version had like those ice tiles, and I don't remember seeing that on here, but we'll continue to look. Measuring cart placement ranking right there. Tile FAQ, Honda Library, Secret Passage, Bottomless Pit. I believe Bottomless Pit was a new one. Let's see. Lava Puddle. We got our Epic Heroes. Epic Heroes Continued. All that stuff. Racer Guide right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got all of that on there. We got our different spells. Spells continued, so this is basically a big spell guide right here. The general FAQ, glossary, rally mode, credits, all of that stuff. So we've got all these things right here, and looks like, oh, that is what we got. So this looks like everything that was put into the main box right here. We'll put that off to the side, and then we've got the void tiles right here. Front and back with some examples of things to do with those, and then we've got the Icy Peaks rules. So for the Icy Peaks stuff right there, we've got those. So that is the additional stuff. So we get additional cards outside of the racing guide for the stuff specific to the gold edition of the game. Let's go ahead, and we haven't even gotten to like the box yet because this is gone through the rules, and this box is like filled to the top. You can see it on the front camera right here. This is almost flush right here. So this is an example of, looks like one of the dashboards. I don't know if this is the, yeah, this is the Silver Slicer. This was a I was gonna say quest reward. This was an unlock right here. Let me go and actually double check on the actual Kickstarter real quick. Yep, so the Silver Slicer right here was the dashboard that came with the Silver Edition, obviously Silver, with also adding Cerebellus and Lady Vix to the game with the Void Track tiles. Let me double check something on the racers. Alright, so the main racing guide does not list those racers in there. However, I did just notice as well that Lady Vix and Cerebrus are right here as far as new racers on this sheet, and then the gold edition of the game does have the Brothers Wise and Calabeza over there on that one. So the racing guide though does put in all of the Kickstarter unlock stretch goal ones. So the ones specific to the levels are here, whereas all the other stuff is there, right there. So we got our Silver Slicer dashboard right here. So we've got that going for us. I do need to find a good way of organizing this, so we'll put that up there for now, and we'll place the Silver Slicer right there. And then we've got a bundled group of tokens right here. So let's go ahead and maybe unbundle that before I take a look at whatever. Oh, I know what that is. That's something cool. So let's go ahead and move that over there and take this off. All right, I'm just going to end up tearing that there. So we'll take that off right there, and here it is an example of some more of our tokens right here. And again, like I said I would do before, let me go ahead and open up to the components list. So these are going to be a bunch of different tokens right here. So we got first player freeze, grass bomb. So yeah, all the different tokens here, and we'll go through them all. And we've got the individual racer tokens here, are going to be a couple of them. The shifters for a bunch of different racers, the side panel there, which looks pretty standard because it's the same ones that are on those. So that's going to be that right there. So we'll move that. Oh, don't come out. Right there. And then we do have, I don't remember ever seeing this as far as the names of the actual carts in the Kickstarter, and I looked it up today. I don't know if it was in updates themselves. I just looked into the actual Kickstarter. But we've got the Crushinator Cruiser right here and the Dalk Alter Rider right there. So there are some more tokens here for the characters. So there's a look at what some of the dashboards look like. And again, most of these look like they are going to have very similar numbers and symbols on them. So like there's Silver Slicer right there, but the 3, the 4, the 5, or actually no, they're all different numbers. That's what it is. Yeah, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one's got 3, 4, 6, 9, 11, 12. This one's got 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 8. So they are same, whatever the symbols down here mean, but the numbers on the top are a little bit different. So there is that. So let's go ahead and put this back over here. Whoop. There we go. And then we got 2 more carts and some more symbols right there. We've got the Decapitator Dasher and the Meteor Crasher right there. There's Explodo right over there. And we do have some coins here for the game. And then we got, again, 2 more carts. We've got the Carpophagus. No, that's not Sarcophagus. Sarcophagus start with a C? No, it's a Carcophilus. I'm like, no, I'm not crazy. Then we got the Centipede Crawler right here. They do all look a little bit different. It's more just like color and everything like that, but it is pretty cool the way they're making, like in other kart racing video games, they do try to make different karts for the players to be in. Some more symbols and tokens and whatnot right there. So we've got that, and then we've got, looks like the Recycler Racer and the Vault Runner right here. Yeah, so there is all of that, more different action tokens right there. So that is pretty cool. Then we've got a few different things here. We've got the 3 placement tracking boards and finish line. So we've got the tracking boards right here, and then we've got our finish line right there, as well as, let's see, we've got a big giant token right here, which looks like that's going to be the first player token. Let's see, L is going to be the 8 red and blue team markers for team mode, looks like. So we've got those. We've got our spell books right here, which are our 8 spell markers. Let's see, no speed increase marker right over here, which doesn't say anything on the other side. Things are already starting to come out right there. So let's go ahead and put that over yonder right there. And then our last thing right here is all of our other gear shifters, a few remaining things in our, looks like our Epic Hero tokens right there. So that is going to be all of the tokens that are in the game. We're going to place that right up there, and then we're going to go ahead and take this out, which I think this is also another Kickstarter exclusive right here. We do have a leaderboard that is dry erase with the racer name and date, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right there. So we've got that going on for us. And then we've got an insert with a whole bunch of goodies, and I was looking for you guys earlier. Ooh, those are really nice, actually. This is the metal coins. I don't know. Yeah, these were exclusive to the gold version, of course, because they're metal coins. So, like I said, these are metal coins. We'll open them up in a little bit and just kind of show them off. But the 40 metal coins, as well as Calabeza and the Brothers Wise, were exclusive to the gold version, as is that dry erase board right there with the Icy Peaks tile. So all those things are exclusive to this version. So let's go ahead and take some of these things out right here. We've got 4 little nubs that I believe are going to be for the dashboards. We've got the tokens, it looks like, for Cerebellus right there. So that's the silver components here. And we've got more of those little things. So this is probably the one for the silver Silver Slicer, and then these are for all the other ones when you're putting them together. We've got a couple extra baggies here. We've got some racers, which we'll look at in a minute, and then another baggie there. Let's see, we've got the Brotherwise token here, and then finally we've got our dry erase marker right there. So that will go on there like so. So we've got that going on. So these are all the components for everything here is components for silver and gold editions of the game. So we'll look at those in a little bit. So for right now, we're just going to take a look at the components that come with the bronze version. So if you got just that version from Kickstarter, it might also be the same as retail, but we'll go ahead and take a look at everything else. All right, so let's go ahead and take this plastic piece off. Which are you? No, you are not. You are not taped down. That's always good to hear. So I'll place that right there. So we'll take a look and see what is here first. So we've got our Dungeon Cart baggie right there. Hope you can see that because it's, you know, it's black on black right there. So let's go ahead and see that right there. And then we've got various cards, again, other versions of the game stuff right there. But we've got a big giant chunk of cards, which this is more likely going to be our spell cards. It's going to be our epic heroes, all that stuff. So it's 3 decks of spell cards. So it's going to be like the A and the B and the C and all that stuff. So, and those are our erasers. And what are you guys? 8 reference cards. So we'll take a look at, let's see, I'm holding them right now. Let's go ahead and get the actual cards out first. All right, had to find the tab there. So I'll get that off right there. So we do have our different cards, which we'll go ahead and place those there. And then we've got our heroes and we've got our racers. So this is what the back of a racer card looks like there, and this is what the top of the racer card looks like. We've got Cleopatra right here, pyramid planning there. So let's go ahead and see. We've got Belladonna right there. We've got Explodo right there, Gorgana, and then we've got Killa and King Croak, Porcus, and Ravenous, and then Umbra, and Klonos, and like I already said, Petra. So that is going to give you the choice of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 racers to choose from right there. So the next is we have our epic heroes. We've got Princess, Druid, Fighter, Pharaoh, Necromancer, Cleric, Sorcerer, Samurai, Pirate, Shinobi, and a Sword Mage right there. And we'll get up a little bit closer. There is the Princess card right there. So you can kind of see that little like chibi kind of art style they have. It looks pretty cool. Taking like the old like 2D sprites and stuff like that they have and just translating them into like a 3D form is pretty neat right there. And then we do have our deck of spell cards. It does come in 3 different decks. As you can see, we got C. As you can see, we've got C. We've got C, and where are you? B, and then A right there. Let me organize this a little bit. So these are going to be the different spell cards, different things you get to attack your different enemies with. So we've got like fireballs, bombs, bomb, 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 fire bolt. Right here, we've got payday, gain 2 coins. A lot of paydays, zombie attack. So all of that right there. Then you got your B level cards. Cave in, let's see, you got a few of those. We got haste, move 3 hexes forward in a straight line, ignoring MP and terrain you cross over. Do not ignore walls and exclamation point symbols. Got Firebolt B level. We've got Rage. There we go. Sabotage, Bomb, and Fireballs all at a B level. Let me take a look here. Let's see if we can see the difference in those. So we got B, target the nearest cart in front of you. They explode. So it doesn't look like there's too much of a difference other than the fact that one is in the B level and one is in the A level, although I'm probably very wrong on that. So let's go ahead and then take a look at our C level cards right here. We've got more Rage right here. We've got a Teleport, which that looks like the portal from Overboss right there. That's pretty cool. Bringing in a bunch of different things from the different games. Haste, Sabotage again. We got Fear. Oh my gosh, ghosts right there. Yeah, Fear, complete the set speed step in an additional time, then reduce the speed setting of all carts ahead or tied with you by 1. And then finally we've got Freeze right there. So that is going to be our spell cards right there. Next we do have our rule book and, oh no, not rule book, we have our 8 reference cards, because you can play this game up to 8 players. So we've got 8 reference cards right here. We'll go ahead and take a look at one of them. So we do have where it says cart abilities. We do have actions right there around structure and what you can do on your turn. Does open up and gives you a little bit of info on what the hazard effects do, and that is it. It's a little cute little card you can have up there like that while you are playing. I realize you can't see me like this because I got this right here now in front of me. So sorry about that. So let's go ahead and place that right there. I'm actually going to move all this up here, place you guys there. Let's see, move our spell cards down, our player cards, and our epic heroes, so we can drag this back down here. And then we've got more racers right there, but this is the bag of racers here, and I will admit I thought these would be a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and see if we can take a look at them up here. If not, I will do a side shot of all of them here. Go ahead and dump these out. You do have to, man, I grabbed it right away. You do have to match the base here, because that does say King Croak there. Got King Croak's cart right here. So I believe it does just connect like this and then like that. So you do have your cart racer like this, and so you will be looking at it like that as it drives down the thing. I think there was some talk during the, or people were at least asking during the Kickstarter about miniatures and whatnot, and I don't remember what the reasoning for not doing it. These standees look pretty cool, and the thing is, like, it might be a little bit difficult, like, for, you know, doing the game on the show and everything here with the up top camera and all that, but however, it's like, you know, just playing the game, there's no reason not to have these standees like this. They look pretty cool. Like I said, I can identify from, even if I was looking top down, you know, again, we'll try to figure out when we actually play this, but I mean, from a distance over here, I mean, I can clearly tell that's King Croak and everything, and the standees look pretty cool. The artwork on them and everything looks pretty neat. I like this. I actually like this a lot. So we've got King Croak's racer right here. Looks like, and let me actually show it up here. So there's that one right there. There's picture right there. And this one here. It's like I said, you get, there's Porcus. And you can definitely tell, for whatever reason, that they're printed on one side of the token. They're not printed on both sides. So they are printed on just one side. So there is that. Let's see, there you go. And then we got Explodo. Oh, let me put that, put it behind there, realizing he blended in. So there's that. And then, let's see. And then, show this one off already? Maybe I have. And then, let's see. Again, they blend in a little bit with the table there. And then, there you go. And then the rest of these are all going to be, oh, this is like a, this one's like this. Yeah, this one is the Ghost Kart one, the one that just has like the monster symbol on it. So that is pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and put those away since we are at the point. So everything I've shown directly right here as far as like cards and all of that goes, that all, I'm realizing there's like a plastic film on there. That's probably why it took me so long to get that on. All the cards and everything, except for these cards over here, are specific to the bronze level right here, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and move all of those down right there. And we will take a look at, I believe we'll take a look at the silver level next. So silver level cards are going to be these cards right here. All that's in here are two racers. So we've got Cerebellus and Lady Vix right there. And then we've got their carts right here. So there is Lady Vix right there. And we've got Cerebellus right there. Big giant mother of a brain right there. So we'll go ahead and put those components off to the side there. They had some other components here before we get to the gold tier. Oh, here we go. They've got this bag right here, which has their individual tokens for the placement board right there. And then they did come with 2 additional spellbook tiles. So there is all of that. And then we get to gold tier, which is going to be these cards. Everything blends in, apparently. These cards right here. And we've got the Brothers Wise in Calabeza. Right there. And then we've got, just looks like their carts and their placement tokens. So there is the Brothers Wise right there. Vroom vroom. And Calabeza right there. And their stands there. And then finally their alternate tokens, or they're not alternate, they're just their tokens. So right there, right there. All right, so those are those additional components. I don't think I've got any other additional main components, except for we're gonna get into tiles next. I did want to show off outside of the bag though. We do get coins right here. These are actually pretty hefty coins. Like these are pretty, actually darn solid. So there they are right there. You can see a little bit of the way it looks. You got a little bit of a shimmer there. These are actually pretty solid coins. Of all the different coins, I mean, I probably say this every time, but of all the different coins that we've unboxed here on the channel, these might be my favorite ones. That and they're like video game-ish looking tiles and everything like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. If you did, I'm filming this on the day, and I might have it out on the day that they are closing the pledge manager for Super Boss Monster. As an aside, I believe these are the same coins that they're offering on that Kickstarter. So if you didn't get this game and you wanted coins for your Super Boss Monster game, you can get them through that. If not, if you already have this and you were getting Super Boss Monster, I'm pretty sure these are the same coins. If not, I'm going to be using them as those coins anyway. So, but yeah, you should have about 40 in there. So that is going to be all of our coins off to the side. and place all that stuff there. Let's move all this stuff out of the way and get back into our box, because I think we have just one more thing, which is going to be a big one. Right here, we've got some dice here, and we've got a few different packs of tiles. So there is that. First thing I'm going to show off is the dice. I'm also going to place this on the ground so we actually have a little bit more room and everything. Oh, look, it was a little bit more lit up there. But we got 2 dice right here, specifically for some for the Smashinator and Boost is what these are for. So there is one of our dice. It does say like hex, so this is boost, so it's going to be hexes you can move. So there's 1, +1, +2, 4, so on and so forth, +3 on there. So that is what that one looks like. And then we do have the Smashinator right there. So that is what that dice, or that die, looks like right there. So that is pretty cool right there. And then next, finally, we are going to go ahead and take a look at our actual tiles. This is not what we want to look at first, though. Neither is that. We're going to look at this big giant pile, because I'm pretty sure this big giant pile right here is not only the tiles from the base game, but these are also going to be the tiles from the any Kickstarter unlocks and stuff like that. That's what we're going to have right here. So let's go ahead and open that up right here. They are labeled, it looks like. So down in this corner right here, you can definitely see it says 1A. And then there is 1B. I don't think there was an option, and it would have been crazy with just how many tiles there already are in here, but since they are front and back, it would have been pretty cool in some cases, I guess, to offer like, I don't think they offer like a way to get the tiles separately. I may be completely wrong about that and just cannot remember months ago when we all ordered this, but I don't think they did. So here is tile 1A right here. It is, I believe, the starting line right there and a straightaway, and then on the other side is a curved version of it. So we got that going. Let's see, place that right there. Then we've got this curve right here and a lake right there for that. So we got that, and then we've got, let's see, another curve and another straightaway, and we'll kind of go here in a minute and see what this actually looks like as far as putting something together. But we've got this kind of baby curve right here, although there is a second track, kind of like it goes this way, curves over here, but then we've also got this over here that we've got, and then we've got fire. And I do like how they tried to make sure it was as modular as possible and like everything blended in, because everything here, as far as the road here goes, does, at least for these, does have like the regular road up here where it connects, and then you just have this like lake of fire right here. I like how they were able to manage to do that. We've got, let's see, this isn't the figure 8, I don't think, but this is a 3-way something. I have no idea what this is. Again, we'll have to take a look at that in the actual rules. And then we've got what looks like the library. I think this is like a haunted library. I'm assuming you can't pass through this, so if you're driving through here, you kind of have to like maneuver this way if you want to get past it, or go through here. And again, I'm sure these squares right here with the red marks do something that I'm just not looking up at the moment. So that is pretty cool. Then we do have the graveyard right here, and on the other side of that looks like a desert of some sort. Again, I would have to go back to the Kickstarter and figure out what happened, not what happened, but what went with what as far as that goes. But there is some gravestones that are going to be stopping you there, and then that right there, so we'll put that there. More curve for the graveyard right there. And then this going through here, and then I don't know if this is significant with this water hazard over here. Again, I have to look through the rules and see what we've got there for that. Then we've got some crystals here on this one with this curve. And then we flip it, and we've got another curve that I don't want to be anywhere near because that looks very dungeony right there. Let's see, we've got more fire right here, and even like these this fire miffet thing. I don't know if you're just supposed to pass through there or what. Again, no dots. I have no idea what you do with that. And then this looks like a very nice and peaceful jungly road. This is probably some kind of difficult terrain going through here. You're going to try to stay on the road itself. So there is that. We've got some more water right here, so the road gets a little thin here trying to get through there, and you can definitely tell like tire marks. Well, maybe not, those tire marks are all over the place. I'm stupid. So there is that piece right there, and then we get into, I think that's the bottomless pit tile right there. So that's going to be pretty fun. Then we've got this curve right here. Again, different curves because they're not like, trying to think where I saw one that was more, yeah, like this one is curving all the way just into the one next to it, whereas this one's not. It's going off in that direction. Let's see, that was 10B, stay right there. So there's 10 or 11A, and then there is something here for a dungeon cart. If you hit a hero, you crash and move the hero. So there's a bunch of writing stuff on the B side of this tile. Yeah, that's looks like some additional rules there. Then you've got 12 here. It's another pretty tight corner right there with some different stuff. And again, skeletons and whatnot. I don't want to mess with that. Another three-way intersection here with what looks like a portal to the nether realm right there on the bottom. Then we've got, looks like an overboss entrance right here. And yeah, you don't, again, I'm assuming this solid black line is stay away. And then the, what do we got here? The B side right here. It looks like you can drive through this whole thing if you really wanted to. That thing you can't run into, but yeah, that looks like some mud. It's going to slow you down all through there. We've got this, let's see, this again, more water right here. And then another curve in, again, the skeletons, don't want to mess with those. I don't want to be anywhere near them. And then this is our figure 8 piece right here. You can see whoop, whoop, right there. So we've got that in there, and then we've got this other one that, again, you can go through all this, but, you know, tree. So there is that. So that is our 15 tiles that come base game. I believe a 15 double-sided map tiles. So yes, we got our 15 tiles that come with base game. I'm going to place them right over there. These are the void tiles. These are the ones that I believe came with the silver version of the game. So if you have silver, this is what you got with that. So again, you got both the original 15 plus these, not just this, not just these. So I worded that a little bit weird. All right, we'll take that off right there, and then let's see, we have any numbers? Yep, so we do have numbers on this one, and this one starts at 16A, coinciding with 15A and B over here, so these are a continuation. So we've got a new starting line right here. Flip it over, there is the other starting line. Both of these, so this just looks like a standard, like we're gonna go this way. This thing right here has, looks like portals. And it looks like the whole thing has portals. So A goes to, let's see, does A go to this A right here? And then, who knows? Let's see here. Yeah, not sure how that's going to go. Oop, there you can put it like that. Yeah, that would be kind of interesting. So there's that tiles right there. We'll place that there. And then we got another one here. Again, I could look through the rules. And I realize, looking at the table cam, that everything is kind of a mishmash at this point. So I apologize if it is a little bit hard for you guys to see this here. So there's more void tiles right there. right there. And then, like I said, these are pretty nifty. And I think this one is one of the ones that comes off of here, because like you can put it right there like that, and it looks like the main road goes, and then it turns into whatever is in this like spell dimension that we are in. So there is that, and then there is this really tight corner right there. And then again, I don't know if this is again a teleport to get to here or whatnot, so again I'll have to read the rules on that. So there is 20A and 20B. So, and then this one here. And then finally our last one right there. And again, this is not even a figure 8, this is a figure 6, whatever this is. So that is pretty nifty. So we'll place this over here as well. I'm trying to get it a little bit more out of the way. And then finally we've got our, I think it's Icy Peaks tiles. These are the tiles that if you pledged at gold, these are the ones I believe you would have gotten for yourself there added on. So that is what we're going to take a look at now. And so where are we at? 23. That was 22, right? 22 right there. So now we're at 23. So again, straight away right there, curve right there, both starting lines. And then we've got this right here. So you will be driving into that ice, trying to get out of that hazard zone right there. And then we've got a you know, ghost house style bridge right here that we're gonna have to go over. Let's see, more according to the tile, it looks like we're gonna be making a sharp left or right turn down there at the bottom. I don't know what we're going into that ice over there for, but yeah, we got that going on there. Looks like thin ice there in the middle. We'll see how that plays out. We got a nice little straightaway over here over a lake that God knows we don't want to drive over. And then there is that side right here with a lot of just cliff right here, it looks like. And then we've got this tile right here. And we flip it over like that. And this here. And then right here. And that. And then this looks like a tile that gets us to our other type of tiles. I didn't look to see if there was a second one in here. I noticed it very much. But yeah, that is going to get us from either Icy Peaks to regular or regular to Icy Peaks. And do notice that there's no like arrows, I don't think, on these. So it's not like they're specifically in any direction. It's just, you know, however you want to play them. So that is pretty nifty right there. So that is going to be, I believe, everything in Dungeon Cart. So that is all of the tiles, and then once you get all the tiles here, this is the massive amount of tiles that you get right here. So that is a lot of cardboard right there. It is all pretty glossy and everything. Oh, and there's the last thing I did want to show off was the extra stuff that we got. So I said everything, it's not everything. So everything from Dungeon Cart is specifically, the last thing is this. These are the tile track stands right here. So that is what they look like right there. And again, they are supposed to take 2 tiles like so, and you do place these like this. Now I do know that on the Brotherwise site they do talk about making sure to watch out with placing these in. Since I don't have that necessarily in front of me, I'm not going to do that at the moment, like placing these in here and whatnot, because I do know these can be, like I said, pretty tight on there. They made them that way intentionally, so that way that over time when they do loosen, they will be a little bit better. But they do have specific instructions on how to add these on, so I'm not going to put them on here at the moment. Just know that when you do put them on, and again, this is even lined up properly. Let's go ahead and fix that. But if you have tile that is like this would go on here, and it would clip on, so that way these two tiles will stay connected. You don't need to have one on all the corners or anything like that, more like probably on the perimeter of your track. So there is that. So you can do that if you wish. I did get them just to have them on there, but you may not even need them. If you got them, great. If you did not get them, then you are also great. Trust me, I know for a fact. So there is all of that. And then the last thing is we do have the cards that crossed over with Boss Monster. Now again, I don't know if any of these are going to be in Super Boss Monster, if they were adding them into that, but to my knowledge, this is the main way to get these cards. Come on. Was through this campaign. Alright, got those out of the package there. And we do have 3 cards. One is a room deck card for Finish Line. That is what we got right there. And then we have an item card, Go Kart, universal item. Right there. And then we do have a spell card right here, which is Haste. And again, all of these cards are designed to, like I said, Finish Line, of course, is a finish line for a kart track. The actual go-kart itself for being in a kart racer, and then Haste, these goblinoids or whatever they are, definitely look like they are trying to push a cart across a finish line. So that is the last thing of cards. These are going to go in my Boss Monster deck here in a little bit, but yeah, that is everything for Dungeon Kart. So let me know what you guys think of this down below. Do want to try to get this played. I'm very excited about this one. I do want to try to get this played sometime very soon, so we will have a gameplay for you guys here soon. Once we, especially the way the standees are. Standees, again, I will say this, I thought the standees would be a little bit bigger. I'm actually kind of glad they are smaller. Standees, as far as playing on a tabletop, look fantastic. However, I do see where like this might be a little bit of a problem for like the top camera. So we'll try to get something else figured out to be able to show this to you guys on the channel. Don't worry, I will get it figured out. And with all that said, make sure to hit the notification bell to know when a gameplay of this is going to be out, as well as any other gameplays that we might do based on games that we have unboxed. Make sure to comment down below. Let us know what your favorite boss in this bunch is, and if you got the bronze, silver, or gold edition of the game, let us know about that. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Help us grow this channel up and everything like that. And with all that said, I have been Eric. This has been Rockshire Gaming. We have unboxed Dungeon Kart from Brotherwise Games, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.